Good morning, everyone. Happy Good Friday to you. I've had kind of a crazy sort of week, and I'm sure all of you have too. And when I'm designing projects and things like that, I'm designing them for now and in the future. And I know some of you will be having weddings coming up in your future, and in particular, maybe bridal showers. And I thought this project today that I'm going to show you is perfect for that. It is a little umbrella and it's easy to make, relatively easy to make, and it holds one Dove chocolate. So the filler part is inexpensive and you can make them in all the different colors. So let me pick up one right here and just give you a little peek here. So it's we're using the umbrella builder bundle, and we've stamped and punched, or I've stamped and punched some umbrellas. And then there's a little holder for the Dove chocolate on the side. So you need two umbrellas, and then I've got this little handle attachment in the center. And I thought it was kind of clever to be able to put it in the center. And I've got a little trick to show you on how to get that looking nice and neat in the center. And you know, I've been using Instacart to go to the grocery store, and so I wasn't able to go to the grocery store and pick up appropriate colors of Dove chocolates for this. So I use the red Dove chocolates. I am not a fan of dark chocolate. Maybe some of you are. My mom is. She loves dark chocolate, but I don't love it. So I always have these dark chocolate Dove candies left over. And so it's perfect because I use that as my display chocolate, and I can use it to, make it. But some of you may love it. But Dove chocolate comes in a lot of different flavors, and they have a lot of different colors of wrappers. So if you're doing this for a bridal shower, whatever shower, I would match the colors of your Dove chocolate directly to whatever you're doing. So there it is. It's very cute. And if you follow me, you know that I'm going to be sending you out a project sheet. And this project sheet will go in the mail on Saturday. Now, if you'd like to be one of my email list subscribers, just go down below to the description of this video. There's a link for you to sign up. If you're already a subscriber, no worries, you're going to get this automatically. And if you are having trouble getting my project sheets, sometimes with a PDF attachment, it snags people into, it snags me into their spam folder. So what I would do is go back to, usually the ones that I send out throughout the week, the emails don't have a PDF attachment. So grab one of those, grab my email address from there and add that to your address book, and that will help you get it. All right, so let's jump in and get started. I'm going to switch my cameras around and I will show you how to make this. All right, so let me put my project sheet aside. I find the project sheets just as helpful as you do because it helps me stay on track right here. Let me move my microphone. Hopefully my sound is good. Okay, so let me talk first about the bundle you'll need. You'll need the Under My Umbrella bundle. This is kind of crucial to the project because you want to be able to stamp this shape and then be able to punch it out with this punch, and you also need the handle. So really this bundle is crucial to this project. I would go and get it right now because like if you have a wedding in the future, 6 months from now, this might not be available anymore. This is a spring catalog and we're coming to the end of it. And if it sells out, it's unlikely we're going to get more of them. So I would jump on this if you need this for an upcoming wedding, because I don't know when it will be. I don't know if it will carry over into the annual catalog. It could, it very well could, and then it won't be an issue, but I don't know that. So if you want this for the future, grab it right now. Also, Now's a great time to paper craft for your future. You can make these and not fill them and then buy the candy later on to fill them. You know, put them in a box, set them aside for the future shower that you're going to throw. And oh, I need to put this somewhere. I've run out of space. I'm like working on multiple projects and I've run out of space. Okay, and then we're going to need the scoring board, and I'm going to pop these over to the side for now. And let me show you how to get started. So you've got your scoring board, and let me straighten this. Okay, and you're going to need a piece of cardstock. We are going to make the little cover for the Dove chocolate first. Find my scoring tool. Okay, so you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/8 inches by 1 inch. So put that long side right up at the top and then score at the 1 1/8 inch mark, at the 1.5 inch mark, at the 2 5/8 inch mark, and the 3 inch mark. All right, this is to make one for one of the holders. But say you're going to be making a lot of these. You don't want to have to score all of these individually. So let me just show you a quick way to score up a bunch of these all at once. So this time you're going to take a piece of cardstock. You're going to, it's going to measure 4 1/8 by 11 inches. This time, don't put the long side up at the top, put the 4 1/8 inch side up at the top. And you're going to do the same scoring marks. You're going to score at the 1 1/8 inch mark. You're going to score at the 1.5 inch mark. You're going to score at the 2 5/8 inch mark and the 3 inch mark. Okay, so that is how you create a long piece of scoring. And then if you're making multiples, you're going to bring in your trimmer and you're going to line up at the 1 inch mark here. And then you're going to cut these. Each time you're going to line up at the 1 inch mark. Okay, so you're just going to go along and cut these all into 1 inch strips. So now you're going to have a ton of these really quickly. You score once and then you cut them all up second. So that's how I would make it if I was like doing a ton of them all at once. Okay, this is how you do one of them. You use the first step that I showed you without that long piece. And then you're just going to fold these along the score lines. Just go one direction all along the score lines. Then you're going to take some Tombow. I recommend Tombow because especially if you're making these for the future, Tombow is going to hold your project together. If you use another type of adhesive like double-sided tape, they don't tend to stay together long term. Now, it could hold together for a few weeks, but if you have different humidity conditions, dry, humid, I don't know how long they're going to hold together. Use some Tombow glue. It's not that expensive. The bottle lasts a super long time, and it will hold your project together. So I'm putting Tombow on one of the end segments, and then I'm going to overlap it with the other end segment. Okay, and then you're just going to press down. And there is the little holder. You can see that's what's going to hold the Dove chocolate. It's open-ended. So we can set this aside, and now let's do our little umbrellas. So there's different ways you can do the umbrellas, and I'm sure there's probably more than the 3 ways I'm going to show you. But I just wanted to give you some options. And also, it looks nice when you have different patterns and things like that stamped. It looks nice on the display. And in the supply list, I put down the supplies for the Brights cardstock and for the Brights Designer Series paper. I thought that would be easier than putting down the individual numbers of the individual cardstock packs, but you can definitely just buy a 1 color pack too if you don't want the multiple colors. So I'm using Melon Mambo. It's another color from the Brights pack. And I'm going to stamp the umbrella. And see how this comes in with this part down. So actually, I'm going to stamp this down like this, close to the edge. And so for one of them, I'm going to need 2 for each of the ones I'm creating. So for one of them, I just want blank umbrellas. I don't want any stamping on them. And then I need 2 more because I'm going to do some little stamping on 2 of the umbrellas. So we'll do 2 of these. And then I'm also going to need 2 just blank ones. I'm going to set this aside for a second. Okay, so let's punch some of these real quick. So I've got just line them up. And if you stamp them fairly close to the edge, it will avoid you getting shrapnel sent into your face. Paper shrapnel, so that it doesn't hit you come flying. Okay, and then this one. And I also want, I'm gonna just punch 2 blank ones without anything. I'm gonna use them to line the ones I'm going to do with designer series paper because I want them all to look the same on the inside. So I'm going to create 2 liners. So let me just set those aside for a second. So then we're going to have 2 that are plain, and then we're going to have 2 that I want to do a little stamping on. So I want to create this one here with the little flowers on it. So I'll just add these to a scrap piece of paper. And so I don't need a second color, I'm going to stamp this one off. So stamp, stamp, stamp. So you decide how dark you want your flowers. I think I can get by with just stamping off once. So stamp, stamp, stamp off. So now I'm creating a nice little floral pattern for my thing. Just have to remember to stamp off, or you can use a lighter piece of a lighter ink. Sorry, and then just keep going. I remember when I was younger, I had a floral umbrella, and it was so beautiful. So I think that's why I wanted to make these little floral umbrellas, a little reminder of my youth. Okay, so that is a different way to create the umbrella. So we've got just the plain one, we've got the plain one with the flowers. And now let's do this with some designer series paper, and that's why I have the brights in the supply list. And I'm going to be using this pattern right here. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp again, and I'm going to kind of center the pattern a bit. Make sure it's close to the bottom again. Easier to punch out. And then I'll come over here on this side and just find the little pattern, line it up. Okay, so now this is going to be really subtle on here, but it will give you the umbrella lines so people will be able to tell what your favorite is. And when they're all lined up, they'll really be able to tell what the favorite is. And for each of these, I'm just using matching colors. Like if I used Gorgeous Grape, I use Gorgeous Grape paper, Gorgeous Grape ink, Gorgeous Grape handle. Okay, so now these 2, I want to line them up with the back. So like on this one, I want the inside to be white so it matches this inside, because if I'm doing them for a display, I want them to all match. So I'll just go ahead. Now, if you were doing all designer series paper, then you could just decide to leave the designer series paper pattern on the back and it would be fine. Like This just has the writing on the back, which would look absolutely fine as well. So you can decide whether or not you want to line yours or not, but because I'm doing mine as a grouping, I wanted them all to have the same white background. Okay, so now you can see these are the 3 different types of patterns that I created. So I created some extra little bases earlier. So I've got all my little bases ready. So let's start with this first one. And we're going to attach this to the skinny side. So just put some Tombow on that skinny side. And then you can attach the umbrella. I'm going to keep my little point coming down below the cardstock. Just make sure it's centered. It's really easy to tell because there's that little point right there, and it's going to help you center your piece on your cardstock. Then come over to the other side and do the same. Line it up. Okay. And then let's do this one. So you're going to have, I wanted to show you how to make all 3 of them all at once. Once you get going on these, if you have some helpers, it won't take long. And I think this is totally a doable project for our shower. And it's really cute too. So I know people always get thrilled when they see chocolate wrapped in cute little ways. It just makes them happy. It's like, aw, that's so sweet, you know? And the great thing for you is you can make a bunch of these and hand them out, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. You'll have the, excuse me, you'll have the umbrella set. So now you can like maybe make some shower thank you cards for the bride so that she can use them as thank you cards too. So you can use the bundle for more than one reason. So, okay, so we've got the little holders, we're getting there. Now I want to show you my little trick with the handle. So first of all, we need to get some umbrella handles. So I found with this punch, if you take a piece of cardstock and cut it 1.5 inches wide, and then you can just use it to feed in, and there's less shrapnel if you do 1 1/8 inches. So you just come in and you just punch however many handles you need. You need 2 handles punched for every one of these that you're making. And I've pre-punched some handles so we won't have to punch all of them. But for every one of these, you'll need 2 of them. And this is the first part of the trick, so pay attention. You're going to take one handle, hold it by the straight end, and you're not going to put any Tombow on that end where your thumb is holding it down. I want that end unglued for now. So just take some Tombow, as little as possible. You just want it to get a little bit of tiny bit of glue. Then you're going to take your second handle and match them up and glue them down. Now, this bottom needs to stay unglued for a second or for a bit, and we're just going to leave that here for a moment. And now I'm going to show you how to create a little template that is going to hide the hole where you put the umbrella in. So you're going to need a little piece of scrap piece of cardstock. This piece needs to measure 1 1/8 inches by 1 inch. Grab a ruler, and what you're going to do is you're going to make an X in the center of this piece, and just do it like this with the ruler and the pencil. Create an X. So now we know the exact center point of this piece of cardstock. And then we're going to take your pick tool. It has this piercing end on it. And somewhere around here, oh, I know where it went. I have a mat, a piercing mat. It's just a foam mat. So I'm just going to poke this right in the center. Then I'm going to pick it up and poke it all the way through to make that hole nice and big and fat. Okay, now I've created myself a template. I just closed the hole from the back. I can open again. I've created a template. So now I can use this template for all the pieces that I need to make. So you make one template and then you never have to do that cross thing again. You don't have to do that step again. So now you cut yourself a piece of the same size, 1 inch by 1 1/8 inches. Then you're going to put your template on top of that piece. They both match up exactly. Then you'll take your little pencil, and make a little mark right in the center. And then come back in with your paper piercing, your mat, and your piercer from the Take Your Pick tool. And you're going to poke it and widen it. And now you can take your piece and you're going to stick it down the center. Okay? And then you're going to open up the two ends that have been unglued like this. Can you see that? Just open them up, okay, and flatten them down. Now you're going to put a piece, or not piece, you're going to take a little bit of Tombow, a dot, and a dot, and open that up again. And you're just going to glue down those two ends. So look at that. Those little ends, a 1/4 inch on each of those little ends, and then they're flattened down. So now you've created your handle and you can't see where you attached it. So there's no funny attachments, and you can have the two colors, the white with the pink, and it will look great. So let me show you that again really quick. I've got my two other handles right here, and I've already pre-pierced my tools. So you just stick it in, fold over about a 1/4 inch. I need smaller fingers. Fold over a 1/4 inch, then come in, put a dot of Tombow. I'm right at the end of this Tombow bottle. And then stick this down, hold it into the glue till it sticks. So yeah, one more. And fold those ones down. And then add these. If you have any questions while I'm going along, I will read the comments before I get off here and answer your questions. So just ask. I'm right in the throes of showing you this, so I'm not going to look over on the comments right now. Okay, so you can see I've got all my little pieces, and you can play a little bit with them and straighten them out. And then we're going to take each of these and put more Tombow on here, and then line it up with this piece right here. Okay. So now we've got that handle on there, and it will hold really well because again, this is Tombow. So just, you know, make sure you've got enough on there. And you can just keep adding them onto each piece. Squeeze it down for a little bit. Oh, and this one didn't want to stick down, but I'll stick it down one more time. And if you put Tombow right on top of the handle, it's going to stick in one more place, so it will be really solid by then because it's got a lot of glue attachments. Okay, so just a couple more things we need to do, and I forgot my chocolate. here's my chocolate that I haven't eaten because it's dark chocolate. So what you want to be careful of when you stick these in, you want to put the wording down. So the top goes down and you want to stick not the short end in, you're going to stick the long end in because it's, well, I don't know. Either way, it's supposed to be a little bit of a tight fit. So it's supposed to go in, but there's supposed to be a little bit of tension to hold this little guy in there, okay? But you want, it's better if you put the curved top down because that way it curves a bit and then it's easier for your little points. See the little points into the little points of the umbrella. That way they're almost level with the curved bottom. So it makes it a little better. At least I found it to be that way. So now you've got those stuck in there. And then we just need to do one more thing. We're going to curl the ends of the umbrella, just in like this with your bone folder. So it just kind of curves around and gives it just a little bit more of that circular look that an umbrella has. So just two more. There we go. So now these little guys, you can mess with the little handles. I'm going to turn them a little bit because it's hard to, it doesn't look quite as good from the top, right? So there you go. Look at all those pretty colors. Doesn't that look beautiful? Mess around with the, there. So cool, huh? So that is how I made the little favors for a bridal shower. Or you can use them for another type of shower or a birthday party. You know, you can definitely play around with that and try something different with it, you know, do it for a different occasion. And, you know, you can make it thematic too. Whatever you stamp on the background here, you don't have to use flowers. The flowers are in the stamp set, so you have that image already, but you could stamp it with something else because umbrellas come in all different, you know, they have all different kinds of things on them. So you could, you know, make it more personalized to the person, you know, who the party is for. So let me just look around here and let me look. Hello, everyone who's joined me this morning. And someone says, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all healthy, and I hope everyone's healthy too. Good morning from, oh, we've got people from all over the world. That's so wonderful. I love that. So again, if you're interested in this for an upcoming shower, I would recommend getting this bundle now. I don't know that it will carry over into the annual catalog. And right now with the situation, we're not going to be, if it doesn't carry over, we're not going to get more in of this product afterwards because there's too little time left in this catalog cycle. So if it does retire, it will be gone. So, you know, think about your future. Are you going to be planning a shower down the road? 6 months from now, the world will look a lot different. So we'll be getting back to our activities, and people will be having showers and weddings and all of those things again. And so now is a great time to pick up those products and use them, save them up for the future, and even make the projects right now because some of us will have more time on our hands. And so now is a great time to get a little jump start on those projects that you might need to have in the future. So if you need the supplies, just click down below. There's a link directly to my blog with a clickable supply list. It will show you all the supplies that I used today. And then you can pick and choose, like maybe you already have the scoring board. You don't need that. then you just need to pick up the punch and the stamp set, and just make sure you have cardstock on hand and the ink, and you'll be good to go. Um, Ah, Marianne says, love these brolies. I guess I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it probably means umbrellas, and you probably call them brolies. I'm just thinking. I'm not 100% sure. I need an Australian translator. But yeah, Australia has some colorful and different language that we don't have here, and they probably different parts of the world that speak English think Americans and Canadians have some different kinds of language. You can see you can see my Canada flag right there in the background. I'm an American demonstrator, but I'm originally from Canada, so I've got my little oop on that side, this side there. I've got my Canadian roots in the background there. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want the project sheet, don't forget to subscribe to my email list. If you love my channel, my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and then click on the bell so you can be notified when I have a new YouTube tutorial up. I hope you guys have a great day. Please stay safe and take good care of yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye.